Boys and girls, there are really only two pieces of content that we have yet to learn, and then we're going to be ready for a test. Love and math. Okay, thank you. All right. We will be ready for a test. At this point, we'll be ready for a test next week, Wednesday. It looks like we'll be ready for test. I will get you the study guide tomorrow. I won, you lost. Between the two classrooms? Oh, we won. So we'll tell Miss Nelson to step up. I agree. Well, it better be soon, or I'm going to be angry. Okay, here's my warning to you guys. In terms of our content, yesterday was the most important assignment that you have so far. It is right here. If you do not know how to do these 6 problems, the test could be very destructive for you. This is what we have to figure out. You might have to come see me after school. You might have to come to conferences tonight and just ask me for help. Like, I don't want a conference. I just want some math help, Mr. Gens. Yeah, well, I'm popular. So, so anyway, that's, we got to figure that thing out. That worksheet has to be thought through. Okay, second of all, the other piece of content that we have to figure out is this piece. And this will not seem very natural to you, but don't fight it. Embrace it. It'll be better. Okay? I'm drawing a compass. A compass. If you've ever done a class on orienteering, you've ever held a compass in your hand. Okay, I'm going to get an example so you can see, but here's what we have as a compass. It's different than your coordinate plane that we draw in mathematics. A compass has 4 directions: north, east, south, and west. Okay? Now, we attach degrees. We attach degrees to those. North, we say, is 0 degrees. East, we say, is 90. South is 180. And west is 270 degrees. And so north can also be 360. So instead of having the 0, 360 over by east, it sits up top there. Now I'm going to give you a little demonstration so you can kind of take this in and understand. But okay, so here you go. We've got a little bit of an example here. And if people ever ask, when are we ever going to use this in real life? I'm telling you, this is excellent stuff. I used to teach this. I used to work at a camp, and in the summers and during the winters, I would teach orienteering to kids. We would lay out courses all across the camp, and we do it. And they'd find their direction. And so, yeah, it was a good time. So we will try it right now, okay? Shh, folks. Okay, let's start here. Example 1, it says that C is directly west. Folks, I know how to do this. You don't. I'm not doing this for my benefit. I get paid the same amount, whether you learn it or not. Okay? But it's your grade, it's your learning, it's your class. So C is directly west of A. A is 110 degrees. B is 28 degrees. And C is 42 degrees. What I need to find out is the bearing from A to B, the bearing from B to A, bearing from C to B, bearing from B to C, from A to C, and from C to A. Okay? And so we're going to make this nice and simple, but you have to follow the steps. Would you like to place yourself right now either at C or at A? You tell me. Okay, fine. We could start at A. And here's what I do. I draw myself a little compass. And you may think this is odd. Guys, I have college trigonometry students that every single time they draw the compass. It's not like you're, doing something silly if you actually draw it out. This is north, this is east, this is south, and this is west. So, calculating A to B is going to be somewhat difficult. But calculating A to C is actually going to be quite easy. What direction would you travel to get from A to C? Directly west. Whoop, I'm sorry. Yep. So A to C. So we got west. What is the actual bearing? 270 degrees. Everybody okay so far? Okay. Now, while I'm at A, I would like to figure out the bearing from A to B. Can you tell me 2 degrees that the bearing from A to B is between? Which direction would I be traveling? Northeast, southeast, southwest, or northwest? To get from A to B, I'd be traveling which? Northeast, right? So I will be somewhere between 0 and 90, correct? Somewhere between 0 and 90, okay? So here's what I do to try to figure this out. Because I need some type of angle to see how much I've turned. The only way to really do this is to make a complete set of right triangles. Now that I make that complete set of right triangles, okay, I'm going to fill in some missing angles so I can figure out what some of my rotations are. If this is 42 degrees, what is this? It makes a 90-degree angle, so it will be 48. 48 plus 42 is 90 degrees. Can you see this larger triangle right here? So, this larger triangle, all the degrees must add up to 180. So on your calculators, take 180 minus 90 minus 48. Let's see what we get. 42. Thank you, Cass. Now, what kind of angle do I have here? 90. So these all must add up to 90. So take 90 minus 42 minus 28. 20 degrees. Now, 20 degrees, 90 degrees. This is a triangle. They all must add up to 180. And so therefore, so you subtract from 180 and you do get 70 degrees. Yep. 42, 28, and 20 all add to 90 degrees. This is a 90-degree angle. Okay, this is where it's going to just get slightly confusing to you. So you need to really focus on this. You said that to get from A to B, I go northeast. So that's between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So let's look. This is 90, right? How many degrees do I turn back from 90? 70. What's 70 degrees back of 90? 20. So A to B is 20 degrees. Because we're going to put something else right here. It's northeast. We're going to put that in a little bit. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm done with A. Where would you like to move to now? C. Let's move to C. Okay, I'm at C. This is north, this is east, this is south, this is west. C to A. What direction is C to A? East, 90 degrees. So C to A is exactly east, and it is 90 degrees. Very good. No, it's C sits west of A. A sits east of C. So what matters is if you're going to or from. Does that make sense? Okay. So look at this one. I want to know C to B. Tell me which direction, northeast, southeast, southwest, or northwest, do I travel to get from C to B? Northeast. So I'm going to be between 0 and 90. Watch this. Very important. Okay. How many degrees back of 90 do I turn? What is 42 degrees back of 90? 48. Or how many degrees past 0 do I turn? Either way, you get 48, right? If you go 42 back of 90, you get 48. If you go 48 past 0, you get 48. So whether you want to turn from north or turn from east, you'll come up with the same answer. C to B, 48 degrees. Where do I need to put the compass now? At B. So this is north, east, south, and west. Can you tell me which direction do I travel to get from B to A? Southwest. So what is my bearing going to be between? 270 degrees and 180 degrees. So if I want to go from B, girls, if I want to go from B to A, how many degrees do I turn past south? What's 20 degrees past 180? Past 180, 200. So B to A is 200. Now let's go B to C. This is 270. How many degrees back of 270 do I turn to go from B to C? 42 degrees back of 270. What's 42 degrees back of 270? 228. Okay, there's a couple checks that we now need to put in place. And trust me, when you do your examples, your assignment will go more quickly than this. But I'm going to walk in this direction, and then I'm going to turn around. How many degrees did I turn to change direction? 180. Think about that. If I walk from A to B, then B to A, I've turned 180 directions, or 180 degrees, right? Look at, what do these defer by? 180, 180, 180. So see that check? There are two ways. This is the final piece, and we'll be ready to try another example. Your learning is good, okay? The question is, you see these pieces, you can write the bearing as a number. But a lot of times in mathematics, we don't write the bearing as a number, but we write it as a direction. And so we're going to go to Sam's example earlier, and we're going to start with A to B, okay? And here's how we write it. If you want to travel from A to B, which direction do you travel? North, east. We put a degree in the middle, and the degree has to be between 0 and 90, and it's the degrees you traveled from north or south. So this will make sense. Just watch here in a second, okay? This is 70, so what's this right here? This makes a 90-degree angle. 20. 90-degree angle, right? Okay. So from north, how many degrees do I turn to the east? 20 degrees. So the way we would describe that bearing is two different ways. You would call it north, 20 degrees east, or you would call it 20 degrees. Let's go from B to A. Okay, try it again. Watch again. I'm standing at B. I'm going to go to A. Okay, how many, first of all, which direction are you traveling to get from B to A? South, west. You always have to turn from north or south. How many degrees do you turn past south? 20. Let's go from B to C. Which direction you travel to get from B to C? Southwest. Middle school. It's not as cool when I do it, is it? Okay. All right. Wow. Ooh. Uh-oh. You guys, I can't turn from west. I have to turn from south. How many degrees do you turn from south? How many? Yeah, 20 plus 28 is 48. Finally, let's go from C to B. From C to B, which direction do you travel? North, east. How many degrees past north do you turn? 48 degrees past north. So look at it. It's interesting. A to B, you turn around. Instead of going northeast, you travel southwest. Yes, so these middle ones will match up. So as you switch, instead of northeast, it'll be southwest, and the middle will stay the same. For these, opposite by, or they differ by 180 degrees all the time. So we took a long time to get through that example. Let's we'll kind of speed it up and go through example 2. Let's apply our learning, see if we can get this. Okay, B is directly north of A. A is 68. B is 50. $62. Thank you. Where would you like to start? Let's start at A. Draw my compass. North, east, south, west. Somebody tell me, what is the bearing from A to B? 0 degrees. What is the direction? Straight north. Very good. Looks like we need to make some more triangles in order to figure the rest out, huh? So let's draw some more triangles in here. I draw east and west lines in order to make my triangles. A for the day, who could come up with this angle? 40. Because together they add to 90. Very good. Going to be tough for me to figure this out unless I figure this angle right here. So this makes a big triangle. So therefore this is 50 degrees. 50, 62, and this must add up to what? This is a straight line, so it adds up to 180. How do I know 50? Because I have a triangle, and I have 90 and 40, and 50 make 180. I don't think 28, I think 68. And this is 22. Okay, good. All right, let's go from A to C. Okay, what is this right? What direction do I travel to get from A to C? I go northwest. Whoop. How many degrees back of north do you turn? 68 back of north. What is 68 degrees back of 360? 360 minus 68? 292. Good. All right, we've got one spot done. Where would you like to travel to now? Let's go to B. Very good. We go to B, north, east, south, west. What is the direction we travel to get from B to A? I travel straight south to get from B to A. What is the bearing? What is the 180? I will always give to you one where it's in a straight direction, so it's easy to find out. Okay. Uh, the other, the college class, I don't do that. We mix it up, we turn it, we do all sorts of other things. Okay. So B to C. I'm at B. I have to go to C now. Okay. So I go southwest. How many degrees past south do you turn? I turn 50 degrees past south. Tell me, what is 50 degrees past 180? 230. I'm done with B. It's time to go to C. North, east, south, west. Do you want to go C to B or C to A? Okay, let's go to C to A. Which direction am I traveling? Go from C to A. South, east. Tell me, how many degrees back of south do I turn? 68 degrees back of south. What is 68 degrees back of 180? 68 back of 180. 112. So 180 minus 68 is 112. Now we go from C to B. What direction do you travel to get from C to B? North, east. Thank you. How many degrees do you turn past north? 50 degrees. What is 50 past 0? 50. Please look as I check my answers. Is the opposite of north south? Is the opposite of southwest northeast? Is the opposite of northwest southeast? Are these two the same? Are these two the same? Yeah. Now, these should differ by 180. 0 and 180, they differ by 180. 230 and 50, yes. 292 and 112, yes. So those are my checks, okay? I have a worksheet that I would like you to practice. I don't pretend that this is easy, but you have to get this piece. So the worksheet from yesterday, huge. Number one thing you got to get. Second, got to understand this bearing piece. And like I said, I will always give you an east-west line or a north-south line to try to make it easier. Let's practice and see how we do.